So in the previous video, we talked about abstract classes and how they're kind of this idea of an incomplete class in which we just build upon. So following that same idea, we also have abstract methods. And an abstract class normally contains one or more of these abstract methods. And we can declare as many abstract methods as we want, but they are declared as more of a placeholder so that we know that they exist and we can draw upon them from the base class, but they don't actually contain any implementation, right? So there's no code or implementation when these are created. And so a class that contains abstract methods must be declared as an abstract class. And this is even if it contains some of our what we would consider concrete or non-abstract methods. So each concrete derived class that has an abstract base has to provide the code implementation for our abstract methods. Because otherwise, when they're declared, they don't really have anything going on. They don't exist. So let's look at an example because this can be a little hard to understand. Here I am in our inheritance coding example, and I'm in the employee class, which has been declared abstract by our previous video. And so an abstract class can contain abstract methods. And when we declare a method as abstract, we put it in between the identifier and the return type. But instead of having a code block with any kind of implementation, we just put the semicolon. Now, as of right now, if I come up and build, I'm going to see that there are two errors, one for each one of my derived classes. This is since we have an abstract method declared in our base class, and every derived class that has one of these abstract declarations in it has to declare the implementation. So I need to come over to my full-time class and create public void run payroll for each one of my derived classes. I forgot to add that override keyword in there. I'm going to make sure to do that. So for each one of the derived classes, and then we can build, and we should see that our errors have been cleared. So now we have a successful build. Now run payroll may be different for my part-time than it is for my full-time. In fact, if we wanted to take this a step further, you could multiply the salary rate or just output the salary rate here, whereas with full-time you'd have to multiply the hourly rate by the hours worked. Right? So full-time and part-time, the classes are going to have different implementations for run payroll, but similar to the idea of what we did with our override toString, if we wanted to be able to run payroll for both objects and we wanted to do it in a polymorphic-like way where we are running it for both objects, then it has to be a member of the base class. So let's take this a step further, and I'm going to output a statement to the console in the full-time class that says this employee's salary is whatever is in the salary rate property. Where over in the part-time, I'm going to write out the statement. This employee gets how many ever dollars per hour using the hourly rate. So two different implementations. Essentially, like I said, you could have them doing completely different mathematical operations, but in here we can call our run payroll method polymorphically, and we should see the two different outputs. So I can see that this employee gets $15 per hour. This employee's salary is $50,000. So hopefully you understand the concepts behind the abstract methods a little better.